Hi everyone, welcome back to another Railway Explore video where we're going to try and have a look and uncover some hidden and long abandoned things around about Colwick and Netherfield, just on the outskirts of Nottinghamshire. Now Colwick and Colwick Marshelling Yards, now that was a huge name on the railway scene. Now it's also known as Colwick Sidings, and it was a large railway marshalling yard in Netherfield, just on the outskirts of Nottingham, probably about 3 miles out of the city centre. And it was designed for the concentration of coal traffic from the Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire coalfield, and it would go on for transfer further afield to places such as the City of London. Now it was in fact built by the Great Northern Railway alongside the Nottingham to Grantham line, and also nearby Nottingham to Derby line. And it was also close by to what was Netherfield and also Colwick Station, and also what is now Carlton Station. It was built in various stages from 1872, but it was eventually closed in 1970 by British Railways. Right, today we're just on the outskirts of Nottingham city centre. We've got the little areas of Carlton, Netherfield and Colwick right on our doorsteps, and you can see that massive red. All that red is like a tin of Heinz spaghetti and tomato sauce that's just been tipped everywhere. Now that is Colwick Yard and the location of where the sheds once were. Now the line zipping off to the top of the map, that would take us towards Mapley Tunnel. Now we've been there a couple of times. The yellow line going from left to right, that is the Nottingham to Newark line. Now as we pass through Colwick Yard and the line splits at the bottom, the ones to the left, that would take us to the former Cotgrave Colliery line. Now that closed around 30 years ago, and the one that shoots off to the right is taking us towards Grantham and further on to Peterborough. Now zooming in a little, this is the little location that I've come to see today, and I've come to see if these little remains are present that I'm looking for today. So let's jump back down onto the ground level and we'll see what we can find. So the first thing we see, I can spot some blue brick through here. It looks like there's a culvert. If we can get through the prickly stuff and get a little bit closer. Make our way down. And there we go, look. So there's a little culvert. It looks like it's not moving. It looks pretty stagnant to me. But if this is here, then I'm thinking there might be something above. So that's where I've just come out, just there, and now we're looking for any indications of anything. And actually the looking has become short-lived, because look here, we've got some rails. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, there you go. Would you believe that? So for me, this is absolutely fantastic. This some, you know, it looks like a set of points because it narrows off just there, and it's leading into a double track. Now where this is going to go, or how far it's going to go, I'm unsure at this point, but I'm going to have a little look over here to see where the culvert comes out and see if we can get a better look at things. So the other side of it is indeed closed off with one of those, like, I forget what they call them now, but it'll control any flow of water coming through anyway. And it's a ditch which carries on in that direction. The main running railway is fenced off over there. Now that's the Nottingham to Grantham and Newark lines. And down there, I'm not sure how close we can really get, but that is where the set of points is situated. And in that direction, heading off back towards the main line, which of course will be severed. Let's see if we can find anything else. So that's where they are. So I've come back out onto this. I will point out that that's a public footpath, leads straight onto this. There's nothing that says private or anything, so if you want to come and have a look at these, I don't see why you can't. You see through there, it's still that double track, and it is going to follow along the edges here. I don't know how far it'll go, but we'll follow it on. And interestingly, a little way up, it's all been chopped down. Nah, it's never going to get used again, and it's easy to think, oh, wonder why they're doing that, but you know, it's not going to happen. Maybe there's been some sort of you know, illness in the trees or something, because it has been done on the other side as well. Look. So the very first track is now buried, the one that's closest to us. And the other one's still visible in the trees. So there's a rail up from, that's the first one. The second one, it's both rails are present on that one through there. So I think we're running out of access to this, and we're not really going to get much further with it. Still a load of ballast down there, look. Now I've found a bit of a footpath, and from that footpath I've come down these steps, which they've been made out of old sleepers, so that's pretty smart. It's a little bit flooded, but we've got this little bridge. Now I can see cycle tracks and feet, so I can't see any issue with walking under here. So let's see where it brings us out on the other side. It does indeed bring us out to a footpath. So I'm intrigued to see what is on top of this bridge. I think this might have had something to do with the now closed oil sidings at Rectory Junction. It does indeed bring us out to rusty rails, set of points. The point lever's gone, so that again confirms that this has been out of use for some time. And up there is the closed sidings of, I think it was Total. Let's see if we can have a little look. Now I'm pretty sure this closed in the middle of 2019. Around about July time maybe. Totally unsure. I think they used to go to the Lindsay oil refinery. I remember them coming past the line at Netherfield Junction. I used to live over that way at something like 6 AM in the morning, thundering past. It worked out as quite a brilliant alarm clock. So we'll leave that behind and get back down this way. Now I've had a little look up here. You can see where there's been previous lines coming out of here. So there's an old route there, so at this point it would have been 3 tracks wide. And where this joins on, going back to a single track, maybe this was a kind of a head shunt or something. And get off here, it's quite greasy. You can see the old sleepers laying along there. So the Total oil terminal, or Rectory oil sidings, that closed, I believe, in 2019. So the last workings came out of that. Now at the point when I went to do this film, it was in January 2020. And since then, this area has been reutilised since the summer of 2020. And workings are going in and out of there again. I believe there's some sort of test trains of some sort. Right, so let's zoom into the little area that I'm heading for now. So I've left the oil terminal behind. I'm heading towards the River Trent and Rectory Junction and the viaduct that goes over the River Trent. Now, conveniently enough, where the oil trains used to go into Rectory Sidings, I actually went there back in 2008 and I found the footage. I've still got it, so I'm going to show you a little bit of that. It's a working of an oil train coming into the area of Rectory Sidings before it reversed into the sidings themselves. So now back where I started. There's where them old pair of lines were. That's where we've just been looking, over there. And through here, I'm just wondering, oh, it's ever so frosty just here, if we can get one last glimpse of those original lines that we saw. There's piles of ballast and old sleepers. I'm not convinced we will, but just nip down here and we'll know for sure. Oh yeah, stand on there, they're just through there, look. Although there's just one line present. I think I must be stood on top of where the other one would have been, because that's on its own. Yeah, that's great. I don't think we're really going to be able to get any closer, so I think we'll leave it at that. So I found another little opening just here, look. They even appear to have a check rail on it. It's not curving or anything, but I don't know what that's actually there for, because that's on the outside of the rail and the other rail is just over there. Let's move over here. There's the second one, and so that's a view back towards where it joined the main line, and that is heading off towards Rectory Junction, is it, I think? And then we can nip through here. Well, and there's nothing. So I'm now at a point, I've got this little ford to cross, and there's a little culvert over there. So the Rectory Sidings line is up there, so I've been walking down here away from where we were before. Let's have a little closer look at this. Oh yeah, it's well flooded, so it's more stagnant water, look. Doesn't really stink, but it looks like dirty washing up liquid water. So I'm going to get myself over here. There we go. It's making some noises like the slabs are floating. Yeah, so there's that. That must join onto the other one further down. Now again, this doesn't look like a footpath and it's got tyre marks in it, but it was where the footpath led me to again, with a green public footpath sign straight onto here. So I'm going to get myself towards Rectory Viaduct and we'll finish off by having a little look at that. There's another culvert or tunnel of some sort. I expect it's from the River Trent, which is just over there. I've got a feeling this is taking me to the running line still, and there was no fences or gates, and there's plenty of footprints on the ground. Might have to turn back and go a little bit closer in a different direction. I can just make out the signal box up there. I don't know if you can. So that probably closed along with the closure of the Total sidings too. No, it's perfectly fine. It's bringing me out onto a footpath. I just saw this silver security fence there and I thought, uh-oh, where's it taking me? So that's where I've come from, and the running line is just the other side of those bushes. Right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little video and the insight of what remains of the once mighty Colwick Yard, what it looks like now. And I really do like that rectory viaduct. That's a beautiful piece of art, that is. So if you enjoyed it, subscribe, comment below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out any future ones. Plenty more to come, plenty already done you might not have seen. Take care, have a fantastic day, bye bye.